Hi, my name's Brian Fries and I'd like to be your new cycling coach. In this first video, I'm going to tell you a little bit more about myself and how I got into cycling. My studio is based in Houston, Texas, but if you're nowhere near Houston, no problem. You can join me live, online, by demand, or join my Facebook group. I got my first bike when I was probably 5 years old and started riding. I loved it. I rode with my friends. I started hanging out at the bike shop. Got my first job when I was 13 working in a bike shop. Raced BMX. Got my first road bike when I was probably 15, and that was incredible. Rode it, more miles and had fun. I actually didn't even own a car till I was 25 years old, so I was completely committed to riding a bike. And then I guess it was about 1985, mountain bikes came out, and I got on my first mountain bike and thought, oh, this is fun. Started riding with my friends, and then they all started racing and said I should start racing, so I did and got fairly good at it. And then I got on a big team, and that's kind of where the coaching bug hit me. I found pretty quickly that I knew enough that I could talk to someone and get them to do some specific training and talk to them about nutrition, and they could go pretty fast from a complete beginner rider to being pretty successful, winning beginner races and then move into sport. A few years later, I met Hunter Allen, that I'd known for a long time through power training, and hung out with him for a weekend seminar, and then called him a few days later and said, what do you think about me being a coach for Peaks Coaching Group? And he said, I would love that, Brian. Go on, get your US cycling coaching license and call me back and let's get going. So I did, and primarily focused on indoor power training the whole time. I was using a power trainer for really the last 30 years in my own condo, riding on my own, and then software became available for people to use multi-rider platforms where people could train together using a percentage of your FTP. We still use that today in the studio, so everyone can ride together regardless of whether you're a pro cyclist or just starting cycling, because it is based on a percentage of your FTP. 80% is 80% for everyone. And I have had professional athletes training in here next to people that want to ride the MS 150. So it doesn't really matter what level of cyclist you are, I can help you out. Well, I was really waiting. I always knew, because I've coached a lot of athletes with power training using indoor trainers for many years before platforms became available for multi-riders. So, only one person could ride at a time. And really, as soon as that became available, I started having people in my own house, in my training room, ride with me just to kind of get the bugs out of it. But pretty much immediately, my wife said, I want you out of here. Find a place that you guys can ride. I started looking for a space, found a space, and now I have Peak Cycling Studio at 2404 Montrose Boulevard in Houston, Texas. Brian Fries, that's who I would want to coach me.